Cancer, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will take you from the 18th to the 25th of February. And just give me a minute here. Okay, your crowning card is flexible. Okay, so flexibility represents that state of being open, not being too rigid. Okay, and you've also got your moon card. Okay, you've got your own card, which is always really important when it shows up. So this state of flexibility means not being too rigid, being willing to change direction and change your mind about things. Really important thing to be flexible, okay? Because none of us want to live our life brutal and hard, okay? So that softness and that flexibility is really a state of health and really a state of beauty, to tell you the truth, particularly beauty of the soul. Interesting crowning card going on here, Cancer. You've got the Four of Cups, okay? So I find it really hard to describe this card. There's two cards in the deck I find so hard to explain. This Four of Cups, this guy here, okay, he's been offered this cup, it's a gift, but he is lacking, he's not sure about it, okay? And for some reason, he's just staring at this card. He doesn't know whether to respond, or there's a flatness about it. Sometimes it comes across as that state of inertia, of being a little bit bored, a little bit lethargic, just sort of flat, okay? For myself, I tend to see this card as a card of divine discontentment. So not being fully content and happy with what's going on in my life, and maybe desiring some change, a bit more passion, a bit more aliveness. It's going to be different for everyone. But at the foundation, you do have the Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords, most of you know, is anxiety and some fear. So maybe this is a reason why you don't want to grab this cup, because this person's protecting their heart. And they're protecting their heart tends to be about fear, anxiety. Will I be hurt again? It's the Nine of Swords is quite a challenging card, because what I say to people when they pull this card, it's about it's all these what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? And it becomes so difficult to be going to a state of contraction and pulling our energy back. So just be careful. Pay attention to your thoughts. On estimate, we think 60,000 thoughts every hour. Start to try and pay some attention to what you're thinking, because, and what I say, is that what you want your reality and your future to be? And if you don't, maybe you're being asked to start to pay a bit of attention to your thought processes and what you're putting out into the world, okay? Very interesting combination of cards here. All minor arcanas. You end the week with two majors, though. So the first two cards, a bit confusing. Nine of Cups with the Eight of Cups. These are, okay, so I want you to look at the cards this way, okay? First would come the Eight of Cups. So there's a sense of your needs aren't being fully met in your present circumstances. This is, I always class this as a spiritual search, because he's dressed in purple and gold, which is about Jupiter, which is our spiritual eye, okay? So he's drank from all these cups, and he realises that he wants a little bit more from his life than what he's currently getting. So he goes on an inner search to find it. And then you get the 9 and the 10, because what it means is he started to find the missing cups. Strange paradox of energies here. It's almost like there's so much joy, because he's emotional abundant. He wears the colour green, and he's got these cups that people can just come and take from, okay? He's generous, but there's still a sense that there's something missing here, Cancer, which would make sense of that card. But that's why I call it the divine discontentment, because it makes us search a bit deeper for what our soul truly longs for. Okay, really interesting, really unusual to see these cards together. Okay, Scorpio got them, but in a bit of a different combination. So there's definitely a sense of what is missing within me, but at the same time, having a lot of emotional happiness around you. What comes next is a sense of joy, celebration, the Three of Cups. Okay, so this is just this card about having fun. Now, these people fly, they're angels, and the reason why they fly is because they've let go of what was holding them down. So maybe, Cancer, this is what this card is saying. There's been something keeping you a little bit chained, and you want to start to release its hold on you. And that's why you're celebrating and feeling light, because you've left something behind. It doesn't have to be a person or a job. It can be an inner shift, because the inner shifts we have in our life are priceless, and they tend to lead to very, very powerful places. It's with the Four of Wands, another celebration card. The Four of Wands can be like a marriage, a new job. You're crossing a threshold into a new life phase with this four. It also represents security and stability because it's a number 4. But this is 3 cards here, Cancer, of just joy and happiness. And maybe a little bit about being focused about searching. For it's almost so much joy, but there's a little bit of something within you that's still seeking something. Excuse me about the wind, Cancer. There's nothing I can do. I live over the ocean. Anyhow, you then move into a little bit of a struggle here, okay? So I don't want you to worry. It's almost like there's all this joy, still with the 8 of Cups. Now, the 8 of Cups isn't a difficult card. It's just a search for inner fulfillment. The Five of Wands is quite a stressful card. It's only a minor, it's a state of mind, but it tends to mean feeling pushed and pulled in different directions. Your heart wants to go here, your head wants to go in this direction, and you're a bit unsure whether to turn. And I think this is around a person, because you've got the 7 of Wands. And this 7 of Wands is a sense of being quite guarded, not sure whether to let someone in or not, and you're a bit torn about it. Sometimes the 7 of Wands means having to stand up for what you value, stand up for yourself, and with that comes a little bit of stress, Cancer, okay? But the 2 minor arcanas, it's passing energy. So it's nothing that you have to give more of your time to. This can just be petty environmental stresses. And that sort of feeling I've got with you, Cancer, is, oh, I'm a bit fed up with this, by the way. Okay, so I'm not getting anything major. The Wands, so you might feel a bit, just a little bit stressed, okay? But minor arcanas, I think it might be around a person. Not sure if this person's good for you or not. Questioning whether to let them into your life. Because you then get the Moon card and the Chariot. Okay, so the Chariot first. These are almost opposites. The Chariot tends to represent quite fast moving forward energy. It's a major arcana, so it can't be avoided. It's about pushing your life forward. Okay, and it happens through you, so you can't avoid this energy, but it's about rapid growth with the Moon card. So these two together, really interesting combination. Because the Moon card is about our deep emotions. It's about being... Just give me a minute, okay? This is our deep emotional life, and sometimes it represents not knowing what comes next because you're in the dark. So you haven't got this awareness of the sun. So maybe a part of you, Cancer, is actually going quite deep within to reflect, to consider the way forward. But forward you're going, because that's what the Chariot card is saying really clearly. I'm going to pull you an extra... Oh my gosh, look. So after nighttime comes new awareness, clarity, and clear vision, and forward motion. That's really interesting here. And again, this is a really unusual combination of cards because you've got the sun and moon together. This day and night, yin and yang, this perfect balance of energies. It's quite a strange, it's almost that you're ending the week in a state of contemplation, not sure what's coming next, and then the Chariot moves you forward into the Sun card, into the light of day, new awareness and new clarity. So my only concern is these two Wands cards, and it's not even a concern. What I'm picking up is just a little bit of stress here. I think for some of you it's around a person or a situation where you're no longer feeling totally satisfied with and you want to change. But there might be fear around this change because as we move into new territory and we grow, fear comes with it because it's the unknown, it's the uncertainty that creates the fear. But the Sun card coming right after the Moon and the Chariot is saying there's nothing to fear. It's just about new life, new growth, and maybe moving out of a state of inertia, being a little bit bored with your present circumstances. Okay, Cancer, I'll speak to you later. Bye.